everybody, it's Jared here with Heat Press Nation, and I am super excited about today's event. We're gonna have a lot of fun today. I got to have a lot of fun preparing, if you wanna call it that. I got to have a lot of fun getting ready for this one. So I'm super excited. Today, we're just gonna show you guys all about these really cool Artesprix Sublimation Markers. But before we get too into it, what was I gonna say? Oh yes, I want you to check out our Facebook group. Our Facebook group, you could see it at, I believe the URL is coming up on screen somewhere, heat.press/FB group. Now, this Facebook group is super cool. We're at thousands already. Like, we have like a ton of members already, and everybody's really friendly, and it's a really great place if you want to get some inspiration, like if you want to see what other people are doing with their heat press equipment. Man, there are some projects on there that they blow my mind. It's really, really cool. And it's very exciting. And so, yeah, so if you want some inspiration, if you have questions like, hey, where are you guys? Well, okay, actually, don't ask this. When you join the group, just use the search feature, because everyone asks this question, like, where are you getting your t-shirts from? Where are you getting your hats from? What did you, blah, blah. There's lots of great answers to all of the common questions. So yeah, it's really, really cool. And then people there is really friendly. It's good to know that you're not the only one who has pressed something the wrong way. I just saw a post, shout out to our group, just saw a post where someone had accidentally pressed something to the heat press and not to their shirt. So it was like, oh, bummer. But anyways, yeah, so it's really cool. You definitely want to join. Again, that's heat. Is it on the screen? No, it's not anymore. It was there. It'll go back in a second. Heat.press/FB group. Want to give a big shout out to my pal Alex. Here, as usual, he's like the silent sidekick. Like, I don't know if you guys watch Worth It, but you know Adam, how he's just doing the sound and stuff, and he doesn't really talk much. Well, that's Alex. We have an Alex, and he's awesome. Anyway, so shout out to Alex, and shout out to our pals at Artistry. Tons of cool stuff, and I'll get to that in a minute. Okay, so I mentioned the Facebook group. YouTube, if you're watching on YouTube, in fact, let me go ahead and bring up our YouTube comments. Feel free to shout out where you're tuning in from. That would be very cool. But yeah, you could subscribe to our YouTube channel. Now, if you're just getting started with heat pressing, or maybe you just want some more information, please do, well, I would say do us both the favor, you and me, working together. Go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We have fresh content coming out every week. Last year, in 2020, crazy year, right? We had like this goal where we just wanted to be as helpful and as cool as possible. And again, big shout out to Alex. We put out like, I don't know, it was like 150, 170, I don't know. We put out a bazillion videos last year, and we're still up at it. So we have like new videos, like at least 1 or 2 every week. So if you enjoy heat press related content, sublimation, heat transfer, whatever, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. And you can go to YouTube, just look up Heat Press Nation. I think it's youtube.com/Heat Press Nation. Anyways, you could join us there. Again, don't forget to subscribe. And if you're watching us on YouTube, go ahead and like this video. All right, let's see. Where's everybody tuning in from? We got Ally Beard Oil coming. Oh, hello, everybody. Scooby-Doo. That's funny. Yeah, Imran says he didn't know about the markers. Yep. Yeah, these are cool. And I'm going to explain these right now, by the way. Jesse Gibson, what's up, man? So good. Oh, so good to see you again. Coming in from West Virginia. Let's see, who else do we got here? We got Jamie's Place from Maryland. We got I don't know how to say that. Sorry, 999 from Ohio. We got WW from Saratoga, PA. Tracy bringing it in from Columbus, Georgia. Sharon Walsh says, hey, miss you in person. Oh, Sharon, we miss you too. Honestly, our physical location here in Fullerton has been shut down to the public for everyone's safety since this pandemic began. No word yet on when reopening is, but honestly, can't wait. Let's see. Pattis is saying, do we get an extra buying disc for joining? I don't know what you mean by a buying disc. But you get all my love and affection. Vicky from Tulsa, Jamie's from Maryland. We got Simpsonville, South Carolina. Some Houston's coming in. Ally Beard Co. from New York. Birmingham, Patrina. Wow, we got everybody tuning in today. It's so good to see all of you guys. And I'll hop over to our Facebook. I think, not you, I was having some Facebook issues just a little while ago. So it's not you, it's me. Let's see. Oh, there we go. Yep, Facebook Live. Let's see who's coming in on our Facebook channel. We got Raymond from Phoenix. We got Lasha from Winterville, North Carolina. Oh, what? East Coast. Rosanna Lee from Springfield, California. Okay, I didn't know we had a Springfield. Or Springville, sorry. Gray Kentucky's coming in. Spring, Texas. Susie. So great to see everybody today. By the way, if you have any questions at all on anything that we're talking about today, do me a favor. Go ahead and ask your question in the comments. Questions, I'm just gonna give you a heads up. Questions I will not be answering is when is this back in stock, because I have no idea for some of these. If you want to know, you can go to heat.press/status. What I do know is that Signature Series just came on back in stock this week. I think one or two have all, it's so crazy. I think one or two of those presses have, why did I even put that there? I think one or two of those presses have already gone out of stock. So if you've been looking for a Signature Series, head on over to heatpressnation.com. I know those just came in stock this week. Anything else, I have no clue. No. You guys want to talk about these? I'll take my time out a little later to explain stock. But yeah, if you have any questions at all, ask them in the comments. And now it's time to have some fun. So I wasn't kidding when I said that this episode, I probably had some of the most fun I've had preparing for an episode in a while. And the reason why is because I got paid. Oh, where am I? Oh no, you got it. Yeah. We got it. Sorry, I'm dumb. Alex is good. I'm dumb. I got paid to do a coloring page. All right. Like I made money, not a ton, but you know. Coloring. I colored this on the clock, and it was great. It was cool. It made me feel like a kid again, and I had a blast. So you're saying, well, who cares about you coloring? Who cares about a grown man coloring? I don't know, you're watching, so. These are Artesprix Sublimation Markers. And so, you know, we've all heard of sublimation printers. I'm a huge fan of the Sawgrass SG500, SG1000, butt-kicking sublimation printers. But these are really cool because they have Artistry. They were able to somehow cram the magic of sublimation into these markers, which I don't know how they did it. Very, very cool. So basically, you get a regular sheet, and this is just regular copy paper that I stole from our copier up here. You just get regular copy paper, right? And you can draw on it. And you could do whatever you want with your markers. Whatever you would normally color, you could just color it. So I don't know, I'm gonna spare you guys no, not the chisels. So there's a lot of different options. The black markers are the ones you're gonna usually use to do your outline. And they come in like three different, there's like a fine point, like a really tiny point. There's a rounded point and a chisel tip. So anyways, I know you didn't tune in just to watch a grown, almost 33-year-old. My birthday's Saturday. You can Venmo me if you want for my birthday. I won't stop you. I'm just messing. No, my birthday's on Sunday. Anyways, so the point is you didn't come to watch a 33-year-old man just color and draw. So I'm gonna spare you that. But just to show you how easy it is, what do we got? We got the black chisel tip here. And I'll give Alex a second, if you don't mind, Alex. I know he's running back and forth. We're making him get his steps in today. So I'll explain the coloring pages right now. But if you want to see the process, I'm going to draw something very, very simple that I know how to draw by hand. I'm going to draw a flower. And this is about to be the ugliest flower you've ever seen. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that after all of my years, this is the best flower that I can draw. Okay, and again, this is not art class. Like, this is not so you can see, like, this is obviously not a showcase of my artistic skills. What I'm showing you is how easy it is to do this, and we're gonna get this nice hot pink marker. And so basically what you would do is you just fill it in. Now, this is ugly because I'm a terrible artist. However, I know lots of you guys out there are actually really, really good artists. And so the point here is not so much how to draw and these colors are about to really not make sense because I have hot pink on the outside and I'm gonna have some, what is this, like a sky blue on, to my knowledge, there are no actual flowers with this color combination. You know, this marker dried out because I used it a lot, so I'm gonna go for like my darker blue. There we go. This is the ugliest flower you've ever seen. Cool. And I'm almost done. If you're bored of watching a grown man draw in color, I'm sorry. What I really wanted to do is just show you how easy it is to use these Artesprix Sublimation Markers. So I colored on here, and now this, I'm gonna come around and show you actually. Got my parchment paper. I'm gonna come around. Let's have a look here. So I'm making Alex work for it, man. I am sorry. There we go. Dude. Oh man, he's gonna hate me. Oh well. So here, I just drew this, right? And oh, one more thing. Remember, it's sublimation, so everything you do is backwards. So I would sign my name, but let's sign it in green. So I'm actually gonna write my name backwards. All right, now you may not be good at writing things backwards. I'm not even sure how I am, but whatever. So I'm gonna place this on the shirt. Gonna get a piece of parchment paper. Gonna cover it up. Now I have my heat press. This is the 13 by 9 inch Craft Pro, which I believe is coming in stock next week. More on that in a second. So that's it. Yeah, I have it at regular sublimation time and temperature settings, which, if you know, it's about 385 degrees for 55 seconds roughly. Not a ton of pressure on there, although I will admit I could use a little more. That should be good. 50 seconds on the clock. I want to come around so I can see if we have any questions on here. Great question. Oh, Michelle, you beat me to the punch. Michelle Adams is saying, could this be used for the sketch function on the Cameo? And the answer is 100% yes. I had actually practiced with it on the Cameo here, and that's like a whole other tutorial. It was just too much to cram into this today because we're gonna show you how it works for t-shirts and for mugs, and getting it to work in the Cameo, I think we're just gonna do a separate video on that later. But yes, if you already know how to use, you already have the sketch pen tool or the pen adapter thing, and you know how to use the sketch function, you could totally use these with your Cameo to get some really cool prints. That's a great question. We got any other questions here? Yes, our pals at Artistry are watching. Thank you, HPN, for spreading the magic. Okay, I'm gonna open this up, and I'm gonna come around and I'll show you again. So here we are, we opened it up, remove this. Oh, okay, so when I popped it open, if you see any smudging, that's because when I popped it open, this actually shifted. So you don't want to do that. I should have just come around and done it the right way. But check this out. So this smudging, that's just because and this goes for any sublimation, if you ever have that and you want to avoid it, after you open it, don't allow the paper to shift, because the inks are still hot, they're still activating, they can still re-imprint in the new area. So that's just because I opened this wrong. My apologies, but dude, look how bright and vibrant. Oh, and see, I spelled my name normal. Everything, it's reversed. Look at that. Like, I just colored that onto the page, and now it's here. So obviously, like, this is a medium. There's no way in heck I will ever fit into this. So we're just gonna use this shirt as our example shirt. I have a couple different examples to show you. So we're saving, we're not wasting anything. Next up is this coloring page. Bum, bum, bum. Is this cool coloring page? So what I did was I printed out the coloring page on my Sawgrass printer. I cheated. I printed it out on my Sawgrass printer so that way all the black ink would be sublimation ink. And then I would just use my sublimation markers to fill in and color the rest. So if you already have a Sawgrass sublimation printer, but you want to have some fun, maybe you have some kids, you want them to color, or you have like things that you already illustrate, but you want to do something more custom, more meaningful for your fans, for your followers. Maybe you're a popular artist on Instagram or YouTube, and you think your fans, oh, this one's already dirty, so I'll get a new piece. You know, your fans might appreciate something a little bit more unique, something a little bit more custom. By hand drawing it in, yes, the coloring page, like the outline is common, but the actual coloring, it's gonna be one of a kind. It's a very unique offering for your fans, followers, etc. So I'm gonna put that in there. There we go. 55 seconds on the clock. And then next time, I'll show you the right way to, this is trash right now. I'll show you the right way to open it so that way we don't have that ghosting like we saw on the first impression. So what I did was I printed this. Now, you might be asking, well, what if I don't have a Sawgrass sublimation printer? Print it on whatever you got, and then all you have to do is trace it. Now, this is a pretty intricate print. What I would do is I would probably just tape it in place. But now, which one is this? This is the chisel? Oh, I don't want the chisel. I want the round. There we go, black round. So now what I could do is I could just trace it. So, and I'm doing this fast. So like, obviously, like it's not gonna be great. Let me come back around. We'll pick that up right now. And yes, that beep is annoying, but that beep will save you from forgetting about your heat press. So I'm gonna very carefully open that up. I wanna make sure that I don't shift anything. So I'm gonna slide it out very carefully. I'm gonna carefully pull this up and away, and then I'm just gonna like Band-Aid, like a Band-Aid, boom. And that looks a heck of a lot better. I will just tell you that right now. So pay no heed to this ugly one. Look at that. Look at how vibrant those colors are. Yes, the coloring job itself is kind of sucky because, as you can tell, I am not that great of an artist, nor am I that great of a colorer, obviously, because like I'm outside the lines like on a lot of stuff here. Oh, what am I doing? Oh, just show it to the camera? Okay. So here we go. I'm gonna show it to you guys. I don't wanna show you the ugly one. Look at that. Bold, vibrant, which one of the reasons why sublimation is so popular is because the colors just come out so vibrant. Like the colors, it's really unlike anything you've seen. Look at that. These sublimation colors come out so cool. So yeah, so like I was saying, like let's say you have art, but you want your kids to color it. You want to give them something to do something like totally custom. With these markers, it's super easy. So that came out really cool. I'm really excited about it. So yeah, like I said, what I did was I printed my coloring page and then I colored it in. I'll pick that up later. And if you don't have it, what you could do is you could just trace it. You can trace it if you don't have a sublimation printer. Now this is kind of a more complex thing to trace. I wouldn't suggest it because it's coming out all nasty. So if you have more time and patience, you could trace it too. And I am just doing this all willy-nilly because I am live on camera and I don't have a ton of time. So, right. And then this is the round tip. There are 3 different tips. The chisel tip is pretty hardcore. And this is the black fine tip. So for the fine details that you don't want to get lost, you can like do this for this little leaf. And again, I am not, let me move that out of the way. I am not that great of an artist. Like you could, my hands are much more tuned to doing things on a computer. So I have not actually, with my real human hands, drawn anything in quite a while. But the point is, and again, you didn't come here to watch me do this. You came here to see about these markers. Anyways, the point is you could just print out a page on regular paper and just trace it. So obviously these are ugly. These are good. You still got to give it some time and effort, but it's really fun. And this is kind of like this is like a really complex image. You know, you can get other coloring pages. Again, if you have the Sawgrass printer, just print the coloring page from your Sawgrass. If you don't have a Sawgrass printer, print it from whatever printer you like, and then do a tracing of it, which can be. Oh, if I hold it up to the light, will it work? Will it show you? Yeah, it can be really, really fun. Now, the cool thing, like I said, these are sublimation markers, all right? And these have actually been around for a while, so I know we won't say their names, but it rhymes with Smicket. They just dropped their new line, and props to them, really great products. They just dropped their line of infusible markers or whatever. These have actually been around for really much longer than this alternate product will say. We're done with the heat press here. And so now the good thing about our sublimation mug press, today I'm using the HPN Signature Series sublimation mug press. I love it because it heats up really fast. So, oh good, it's already at time, 385 degrees, 190 seconds. And now I'm going to show you how you can use this for any sublimation mug blank. Really quick, I do want to pause and see if anybody has any questions. Yes, Brian Burke is saying you can also have your cameo draw it out. Yeah, I forget who commented that already. Yes, these pens are available on the website, heatpressnation.com. We have several different packs. Like there's like a pastel pack, there's like a primary colors pack, there's like several different packs of these really cool sublimation markers. They're all available at heatpressnation.com. Okay, this is a great question. Oh yes, Velma Jean Luna is saying, can you use heat tape to keep it in place? Yes, you don't want the transfer to shift on the surface of the t-shirt until you're ready to peel it away. You could use heat tape. There's a sublimation safe adhesive spray that we carry called Eco Mist. Yeah, whatever floats your boat. Denise Daniel, do you have to use butcher paper inside the shirt? You know, sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. And to know for sure, I'm just gonna hold up the back of this shirt. So, oh, the back of this shirt does have a very slight, you might not even see it on camera because it's so bright in here, but I could see it. There's a very, very slight, maybe you could see it on this side. I don't think you're gonna be able to see it under these lights. There's a very, very slight imprint of my top layer on here because this is a very thin shirt. Again, for sublimation, you want to be using 100% polyester. You could get away with a 50-50. The colors are not going to be as vibrant, especially after you wash it. But you could use a 50-50 shirt. Those are a little bit thicker. This is like paper thin. Like this is a very, very thin shirt. So it depends on the thickness of your garment. Of course, better to be safe than sorry. You could, of course, slip a piece of butcher paper inside to make sure that nothing from the front goes on to the back. So yeah, great question. And to answer, it depends on the thickness of your shirt. I actually found these really cool, I think they're like 75% polyester shirts. Those are great. And I want to say they're Toltex brand, but yeah, they were great because they're a little bit thicker. They're like a 4.5 or 5 ounce shirt. This is like, not by weight, but if this has the thinness equivalent to like a 4 ounce or 3.5 ounce shirt. This is a very thin shirt, which is why it did bleed through. So that's a great question. Okay, more questions. Let's see, what else do we got? What else do we got here? Monique, thank you so much for, oh, that means it's on, it's ready to go. See how fast that was? Thank you, Monique, for sharing the links. Super glad to have her with us. She's super cool. By the way, shout out to Monique and Ronnie. They've been helping out in the Facebook group, answering tons of questions. The bigger the group gets, the more questions we got, and then the more awesome team members from HPN that we get to have in there. So, there we go. Oh, Vicky, great point. She's saying she played it safe and pre-ordered. By the way, if you want to pre-order a heat press that is currently out of stock, you can do so by calling our sales team at 1-800-215-0894. Again, that's 1-800-215-0894. Someone is asking, Perico Sofa is asking about shipping times. Unfortunately, I have no idea for that. I would recommend that you give our customer service team a call. Again, 800-215-0894. You can also reach out to us on social media. We are taking messages on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. So if you have any of those three, feel free to send us a direct message and we will get back to you as soon as possible with an answer. Toledo Jess is asking, can you reheat a project to add more to it? That is an interesting question, and we'll try that. Oh, my overhead. Oh, well. Now it's spooky in here. Oh, well. We'll try that again in just a minute. The light's going out because it's a sign that I'm talking too much. Ally Beard Co. is saying that's sublimation paper, right? No, this is actually regular copy paper. So the cool folks over at Artistry designed these markers to work with regular copy paper. Now, I imagine, no, I'm sure you could use regular sublimation paper. I don't know how much of a difference that'll make. But this is all just printed on regular copy paper because that's what the markers work best on. So yeah, if you have sublimation paper and you want to print out a coloring page, go for it. Knock yourself out. And let me know how it goes. Go to the Facebook group and tell us how it worked out. I just used the regular copy paper today. Oh, this is a good point. Scooby-Doo says using regular paper for sublimation on hard products comes out a tad fuzzy in my opinion. That is very possible and probable. I could imagine it would work like that. And actually we're about to find out because we are testing sublimation mugs with the Artesprix Sublimation Markers right now. So it's very cool. All right, let's do it. Now, one thing I was not anticipating was that my mug, there we go. This is the mug we're gonna use. So first things first, I wanna make sure that there's no lint on it whatsoever. You could use a lint roller. You could use a clean microfiber cloth. You don't want any lint on any of your sublimation blanks. Now, what I did on this right here is, and you know, I'm actually gonna come around and show it to you guys because it's very important. Is this close enough? Am I too close? Oh no, is he gonna? It's not gonna catch focus. You know what? I'm dumb. There we go. So you see, there's like a line around it, right? You want to cut around that. I had to come and show it to you because it wasn't gonna come out any other way. Okay, I'm going back now. So what I did was I printed a box around it to let me know where my trim points were. So I printed out. It looked like this. But then I colored it in and now it looks like this. And before we can put it on our mug, we do have to trim. I wish we could cue a montage of just something while I trim this, because this is the most boring thing you're gonna watch today, I guarantee it. If any of you guys do anything more boring today than watch me trim this sheet of paper, let me know, because I'm actually really curious as to what that would involve. Okay, so I'm almost done. Give me just two seconds here. Okay. We're trimming it closely. Now you want to trim on the inside of your box line because you don't want that box to come out on your mug. So we're trimming on the inside of the box that I drew. I promise I'm almost done. Last side. The only thing more boring than watching me cut this paper is taking your food handlers course, which I just took this last weekend. Boring as heck. Okay, so now you don't see it. Actually, I'll bring it out. This is the ugliest tape dispenser you've ever seen. Gonna get a little bit of heat tape. You're gonna fold over the end, right there, like so. And what I'm doing, I'm just adding a little bit of heat tape to each side, so it'll stay on there. Now, I know this is not a mug tutorial, but just kind of talking you through my process here, in case you have a mug press and you have these markers and you wanna give it a shot. Now again, this was pre-printed. The coloring page was pre-printed on a Sawgrass printer because I wanted this to actually come out. So this is sublimation ink. If you don't have a Sawgrass sublimation printer, you could still print out whatever the heck you want and just trace it with one of the black markers. It's that easy and you can get really cool stuff. As a few viewers have mentioned, You can also, let's fix that. You can also get your Cameo or whatever other cutter you're using to sketch it out. Just make sure you have the pen tool. So now make sure this is right side up. Gonna hold it up to my mug. And I'm kind of eyeballing center on this. I hope you guys and girls do not mind. That looks about right. And again, if you want to know how to press a mug, we have tons of tutorials on that. This is not a mug pressing tutorial per se, but I did want to show off what you could do with your sublimation items. Now, because this is thin copy paper, I'm going to do something I do not typically do when pressing mugs, and that is I'm going to add a protective sheet of parchment paper in there. Because I'm pretty sure since I'm using, and you know, this kind of goes back to the question, should you do this on sublimation paper? Going back to that, I probably should have, because now what I'm going to do, this copy paper is really thin, so I just want to make sure that nothing gets messes up my mug press. So now this is probably the first time you guys have ever seen me actually do this, where I'll wrap my sublimation mug in parchment paper. Is that going to work? Yeah, that'll work. Okay. I got a little more time, 385 degrees for 190 seconds. So we got about 3 minutes on the clock. So I'm gonna take a moment to take your questions, and I'm gonna put this bad boy on display. Just like so you guys can see how cool that is. All right, let's see if we have any questions here. Let's see. Oh, great point. Scooby-Doo is saying, if you use the markers with words, remember to write them backwards. Yes, when I was pressing this top ugly graphic, can you see it? Yeah, I had to spell my name backwards, so when I heat pressed it, it would read forward. Which brings me to a really great point. There are several of these stencils that Artistry does offer. And on this second one, you can see I stenciled my initials right there on the bottom, JB, not Justin Bieber. It's me, Jared Barbosa. I use this stencil because some of you guys may not be, as cool as me, you may not be that good at writing your name backwards. I'm not sure where I even picked up that skill, but whatever. In that case, you could use the stencil and just flip it over and write whatever you want. Another thing you can do is if you're doing a coloring page for a child and you want that child to fill in their name properly, do like a block, like an outline font, and just pre-spell their name but flip it backwards so they just color in their name. Or you can have them use the stencil. As I mentioned, this is an Artistry stencil, but pretty much any stencil will work. You could just stencil your name in backwards and then you have it there perfectly. Okay, we got about 1.5 minutes or less on the clock. Do we got any other questions here? Going back to YouTube, going back to the tube. Christina, oh my gosh, yes. Christina Rice is saying, this would be great for a kid's birthday party. Yes, it would. So last year I had mentioned that my plan was for Christmas 2020, I was gonna pre-make a bunch of coloring pages of the nativity or the the nativity scene for Christmas. Because me and my wife, we help out with Sunday school at our church. And what we were gonna do was pre-print a few, a handful of coloring pages, have the kids draw them in, and then make them their own, Christmas t-shirts. And that can work for any event involving kids. You could print out pretty much whatever coloring page you want if you have a sublimation printer. You can have them fill it in, or you can just give them markers and tell them to go ham. Like, hey kid, draw whatever you want. Make it a contest. Draw a birthday cake, and the kids can draw a birthday cake, and then they all get to put on a shirt. Or, as you can see, we have mugs, lots of different really cool products that they could put it on. And let's do this here. Carefully open that. It did bleed through onto the parchment paper, so I'm really glad that I decided to use this today. I'll pick that up later. Now, this is very hot, and you don't want to peel it immediately. You do want to give it just a little teensy bit of time. And I got a little something on there. So I'm gonna let that cool off for just a second. Gonna see if we have any other questions, and I'll be peeling that right now. And then somebody asked if you could double up on something. So if we have the time, which I believe we do, I'm gonna plug in my regular heat press and should be able. Oh, I see what I did, Alex. I messed up your camera. Okay, there we go. Alrighty, what was I doing? Oh yes, so we're gonna give that about another like 30 seconds to cool. Anybody have any other questions here? Michelle said, yeah, that birthday party idea is so good. Yeah, Christina Rice, great idea. Would love to see what you do with that. Elena Rangel is saying, do the shirts have to be cotton? No. The shirts actually have to be, and if I wasn't clear earlier, these have to be polyester. Sublimation only works with polyester garments. Now, this is a 100% polyester t-shirt, which is why the colors look so darn good. If I had a 50-50 cotton poly t-shirt, that's only 50% polyester, it would look okay after the first press, but then after the first wash, you would definitely see it like lose its color a little bit. So it's not ideal. If you're doing it for like a kid's birthday party, these kids, who knows how many times they're gonna wear these shirts, knock yourself out. Go for a 50-50 t-shirt. As I mentioned earlier, I did find some shirts that were 65% polyester. That was cool, those work great. And then my favorite so far, I wanna say it's like 75 or 80% polyester. Those work really good. It's a nice blend. There's enough cotton in there to where it's not so polyester. But try them out. There's lots of different ones. This one I don't really recommend, but it's all they had at my shop. This is an Augusta Sportswear polyester shirt, 100% poly. Not the best. There's other ones that are better, like Sublavie, Gildan has a couple. But yes, you have to have polyester in the garment in order for this process to work. And with these mugs, I should mention, this should be ready to peel. You cannot use regular dollar store mugs. You have to use sublimation mugs. If you don't have sublimation mugs, then, I gotta turn this back on. If you don't have sublimation mugs, it's just not gonna work. So I'm gonna go ahead and peel this for you. Oh, that looks so cool. That is also so hot. Two's working? Yes. So check that out. Look at that. My coloring page, which I colored over here, is now on this mug. So if you want to add a completely personal touch to whatever you're doing, and if you see me looking, I'm looking at my monitor. If you want to add a completely personal touch to whatever you're doing, you already have existing artwork, you have stuff that people already love, go for it. These Artistprix Sublimation Markers are the funnest. They're super fun. They're also good. I do call them, sometimes I have nicknamed them, the gateway drug to sublimation, because it's so much fun. You can see how easy it is to customize stuff like this. Like we have coasters, pretty much any sublimation blank that can be heat pressed. You could use these super cool markers. And the markers are very affordable, especially when you compare them to like a full-on sublimation printer. Maybe you're not sure if you want to go for the sublimation printer, but you do kind of want to test out the process. Maybe you already have a heat press, maybe you already have a mug press, or maybe you have a mug press, and you want to see how, you want to like get the feel for sublimation. This is a really easy gateway into the world of sublimation, so I can't recommend them enough. They're super fun, lots of great projects available, I don't know if this is gonna heat up in time. We'll try it. Okay, do we have any more questions? I think I'm done with my demonstration. Somebody wanted to see if we could like overlap a design, see how it looks. We're about to find out right now if this thing will heat up in time. I'm not sure if it's gonna, but we'll see. In the meantime, do we have any questions? Elena is saying, that is beautiful. I haven't been able to afford a sublimation printer, so I'm excited about these pens. Yes, these are super, super cool. Can't stress enough. And then another thing that you can do is, if you have a friend with a sublimation printer, maybe ask them to print out a few coloring pages for you. That's an option. Maybe you take them some donuts or something like that. I know I would if somebody brought me some donuts. Yeah. So, there's lots of different ways. Of course, as we mentioned, you can use your Cameo to sketch out these designs and do whatever you want. Like I said, I was gonna try to incorporate that into today's lesson, but it was just too much. It was just too much. So that's gonna have to be a separate video. We'll talk about using the sketch pens on at another time. Michelle Adams, yes, this was all done on copy paper. Now this copy paper is pretty thin. There was a little bit of bleed out onto my parchment paper. So if you're gonna use regular copy paper, make sure you have some regular parchment paper. We sell fat rolls of this at Heat Press Nation. Make sure you have some parchment paper to kind of block it out and make sure it doesn't get on your heat press or your mug press or whatever it is that you're doing. Someone earlier did mention if they have to use sublimation specific paper, and no you don't, but like you could, so that could work too. If you have that on hand, by all means, go for it. Mary Bennett says she's getting her Sawgrass printer today. How exciting, very cool. I hope you have a blast with that. I love my Sawgrass printer. Okay, give me a second. Let's hop over back to YouTube. Oh, yes, duh, thank you, Alex. We already have videos on how to use the Artistry markers on our YouTube channel, which is a great time for me to plug our YouTube channel once more. If you can see me, I am glistening. It's hot in here. Oh, I'm back over here. It's hot in here. I'm in between two heat presses, all right? I forgot where I was, but yeah. Oh, YouTube, check it out on YouTube. We have an Artistry video already up if you want to see more on how to use these. Very, very cool. Okay. Oh, Terry is saying, watching you whilst I love that. Whilst embroidering a circle on denim with polyester thread. Then going to try sublimation on it. Has anyone tried this? Oh, dude, no idea. We haven't tried that. We don't have any embroidery equipment here. But if that works, let us know. If you're on Facebook, please, I would love to see if that works or not. Facebook group, heat.press/FB group, which should be coming up on screen. There it is. Heat.press/FB group. Check that out. That's our Facebook group. Please join. Please join. No, it's really fun. It's a great place to be. Oh, that's cool. So Scooby-Doo is saying, we did a t-shirt party for our little cousins with the markers. Very, very cool. So many great ideas going on here. So our press is not at the ideal temperature for sublimation, but I am gonna, just for the sake of trying it before we let you guys go, somebody asked if something's already been heat pressed, can you do it again? And my answer was, I have no idea. So, what do we do when we have no idea? We test it. And I'm gonna use some of the worst colors I've ever done. Again, not an artist. Actually, I should say not a hand artist. I am better at digital art. And by the way, if you've ever been curious, we do have two webinars on how to create digital art from scratch, your own icons. I think the last one we did, we showed how to make spring break icons in Silhouette Studio. So that's okay. I'm going to come around, and we're not at the ideal temperature, but I think it's hot enough to where we can at least prove our point. So I'm going to bring this first one back up, make sure the other one's not going to get pressed. And then, oh, I forgot to spell this backwards. I was just bragging about how good I am at spelling backwards, but I forgot. And I'm going to place it like directly over so we can get a good test. Excuse me as I reach over here. You guys just got a close-up of my fat back of the head. All right. There we go. We're going to slide this in. Now, disclaimer, my press is only at 334 degrees, 335. It's not perfect. It's not, but it should be enough to at least test this question. Can you press over something that's already been heat pressed? So, you know, and I'm just gonna leave you guys there. We're gonna stare at this. You can watch my hand. Pretend this is me talking to you. Don't worry. 30 seconds left. That's all it is. Are you sure that's all it is? Yeah, that's all it is. For real? Yes. Why are you guys still watching this? I don't know. You guys must really love t-shirts. Or you just really want to see the end result. I have no idea why I'm still doing a hand puppet. I apologize. I am really, really sorry. 7 seconds left. And I guarantee this is the most boring thing you're gonna do all day. Okay, that was terrible. That was dumb. All right, but now you're all curious to see, did it work? Yeah. Yeah, it did. So this ink got kind of reactivated, and you can see because it got imprinted onto this sheet, but it doesn't look bad. Like, so to answer your question, if you've already drawn something and you want to add something extra to it, yeah, go ahead. This blue and orange should be a lot darker, but like I said, we weren't at the right temperature for a full sublimation. But I think we kind of proved the point that, yeah, if you want to add something over it, by all means, knock yourself out. Okay, I'm going to come back around, and I think it is time. Whew, it is warm. It's time for me to get a cold glass of water, I'll tell you that. And I think it's time for us to go. So check this out. Once more as a recap, we were able to do this really cool shirt and this super awesome coffee mug with the Artesprix Sublimation Markers. There's a ton of them available on our website. That's heatpressnation.com. I believe Monique has already commented in the comments below the direct links, but check them out. You can just look them up. Go to heatpressnation.com and in the search bar, just type Artistry. Oh, by the way, it's not Artesprix. All right, I should have clarified that. It's spelled A-R-T, art, E-S-P, esp, R-I-X. So it's very fancy. So if you look it up, Artistry is spelled, and I'm sure it's already been put in the comments, or maybe, Monique, if you don't mind, like actually spelling it out, Artistry is spelled A-R-T-E-S-P-R-I-X. So it looks like Artesprix, but it's not. It's very fancy. It's Artistry. And yeah, done with these super incredible markers. Honestly, I hope you guys all pick up a pack because they're that fun. They're that fun. So many different applications. And honestly, it's good to have fun, man. If you don't love what you're doing, if you don't give yourself a break to have a good time every now and then, you're just gonna miss out on life. So I encourage you guys, whether it's with Artistry markers or maybe you make a pizza with your kids, I don't know, do something fun, have a good time. Happy Friday, Junior, by the way. I hope you guys are having a great week. I'm gonna have a great weekend. It's my birthday this weekend, so you know that means one thing, lots of food. I'm gonna have a blast. I'm gonna go to LA. I'm gonna eat at all the cool spots that have been shut down all quarantine. Yeah. And yeah, Venmo me. No, I'm just kidding. That's stupid. Don't do that. My boss is, I'm in so much trouble right now. Yeah, no, just kidding. Actually, no. If you do want to get me a birthday present, go to our YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button, turn on the like notifications. That'll be the greatest gift that I could possibly get. Just kidding. The second greatest gift that I could possibly get, because the first one is going to be, it's called the Oinkster. It's in Little Rock, Eagle Rock. It's in the hipster town in LA, and their pastrami sandwich is nuts. That's my first best gift this year. My second best is you subscribing to our YouTube channel. Go ahead and head on over there. Go to our YouTube channel. Once again, heatpressnation.com. YouTube.com/heatpressnation. Or just go to YouTube and type Heat Press Nation there. Subscribe, do all the fun stuff, and I will see you guys next week. It's been a pleasure. Once again, my name is Jared, and I hope you guys have a great weekend. We'll see you.